Hello, Crab here, and today we'll be making this glass cube to house our aluminum factory. Now, let us begin. I know some of you will be wondering, why is phase 4 done? I forgot to record, and when I went to reload so I could redo the animation and show you guys and all that fun stuff, for some reason I was like, let me hit the delete button. Not the normal one, the delete session one. Yeah, that one. So the only reason we have this world right now is because I made a backup right after that animation because I was going to send it to a friend of mine. And so I still had it. So be thankful that my friend asked for the world. Otherwise, I wouldn't have it anymore. Now we are over by this piece of mountain. Now you may not recognize this bit of mountain, but it is right behind the cliffside base that I built yesterday. See, we can see inside it from this very nice crack in the rocks. The reason I'm building over here is because I have coal available, bauxite that is sitting right up here, which I have already started to bring over, which is that bit right there, and water, which comes through a crack in this wall right here from this little river. I can place water extractors in this tiny river, so I'm gonna do so. And me being me, I'm gonna try something new. I saw these two images and I was like, what if I tried to make that in Satisfactory, except did it my way and just significantly worse? So that's what we're gonna do for this bauxite factory. We're gonna make a big cube and we're gonna kind of like diagonal it right here, and it's gonna go that way and then in and then back around and over. So I'm gonna build the cube and then put the machines inside of it and make sure everything fits. Ah, the infamous gray slab. We have a wee tad of a layout. Everything fits, which is amazing. This is going to be a small factory. I know it's bauxite, but I mean, bauxite might be complicated because of the fact you have to recycle water, but relative scale-wise, just building casings and aluminum sheets, it's pretty easy. I'm using the alternate sloppy aluminum recipe. The only reason I'm doing this instead of using 2 machines with the normal recipe is because I'm not using silica, because I have another alternate recipe. It uses less water and less bauxite to get the same thing, and I do not need the silica output, so that's why I'm using this recipe. We're going to take our 240 aluminum solution and bring it into the normal aluminum scrap recipe. We're going to recycle the water back into the sloppy aluminum solution, and of course add our coal. Take our scrap. We're going to smelt it down using the alternate pure aluminum ingot recipe. So it is technically worse output-wise, but as I said, this factory is relatively small because the items we're producing, we're going to produce a good amount of them at a time. So with this alternate recipe, I can make 180 aluminum ingots. I'm also using another alternate recipe, the alclad casing recipe, which means we can use aluminum ingots and copper ingots to make aluminum casings. We're going to be making 67.5. The reason for that is we're taking half of our aluminum ingots and plugging them into this machine, and the other half are going into these 3 machines with the normal aluminum sheet recipe. I don't know if there is an alternate to this, actually. There is not. Okay. Now, where these smelters are sitting, we're going to have 3 smelters for our copper ingots, 30 for these 3 machines, and 45 for the one making the casings, and the other 7 smelters are going right here for the aluminum ingots. I'm going to have to build the factory around these 2 pillar things. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm going to hate myself for choosing this location. Now, let's make some blueprints. So first off, for the storage, I reused the blueprints from the cliffside base, changed them slightly by getting rid of the roof light, but that's about it. Now, we have 3 other blueprints I made. Refinery, assembler, and smelter. Let's go through them one by one. The smelter is the easiest to showcase basically how all the designs work because they're all very similar. First thing you should notice is that this floor is very unique. What I'm using is coated concrete with a white swatch with a caterium finish. So it's like slightly golden, but not quite. You can tell where the light is, that it's the caterium color. What I did for all the blueprints was use the basic 1 meter steel wall, put lights on one side. Then I also had diagonal metal beams with lights on the other side to highlight the build. And then I used these low barrier, the new barriers on the front and back, kind of just add some more detail. For the refinery, basically the exact same thing, except I also used the new barriers as the walls instead of the metal beams. The refinery is also indented into the ground a bit, so the inputs are underneath, which makes it so this is just a little bit lower, so the building doesn't have to be as high. Lights on the outside and on the inside to highlight everything. And exact same thing with the assembler, except the front has the light and metal wall, whereas the back has the new tall barrier and some lights that face up to highlight the back of it. So nothing extreme, all following the exact same pattern, just to keep everything in a cohesive style. Everything looks pretty good. The factory's lit up relatively nicely from the floor. This factory will not be nearly as dark as the cliffside one. There's going to be a lot of windows, lights in the ceiling. It's going to be very lit up, but I wanted to add some stuff around the machines that during the nighttime would add a little bit of detail. Now, this technically means the inside is done. I haven't done the belt work underneath yet. I'm going to kind of do that later. And this corner, I still need to figure out what to do with. I just heated up some chicken and it is tantalizing me with the scent, but I thought I would give a little update-datey. So this is the roof. I am curving it. I do not like how this looks. I don't know what I can do about it. Anyways, roof rounded pretty far up. And then down here, I messed around with the wall. I made 3 blueprints, a middle, a right, and a left. It's just indented a little bit and then has these wall things. I'm going to mess with it a little more. I might, in like that corner and this corner up front, go up and connect the roof to the down bit. The other thing you should know is this is a half foundation. So when I put the glass walls in the middle of this foundation, it'll be in the middle of these foundations, but these foundations are smaller, so it'll look different, which was the point. I still have to do the roof. I need to add like lights and stuff to make it look pretty, but I haven't done that yet. Now, what I'm really trying to figure out is if I should go down 3/4 of a foundation and I can get like a few lines in. That might add some detail. Oh no, I'm messing around, but I like the shape. I like the height. This is a 12 by 12 square, so I'm trying to make this almost 12 meters high. I still don't know what to do with the 2 big pillars. I'll figure out something to make them not look like garbage when they exit this building. Okay, I put the glass in, and I messed around a bit more with these 2 lines that I wanted to put in. And I like what they're at now. This is an even spacing of 3/4 of a foundation, but this one is a half foundation and this one is a 1/4 of a foundation. So it looks like this big chunk is slowly like degrading, I guess you could say, which is what I was going for. I feel like this is too thick for the degradation, but I really like how high this is. So I really don't know what to do about that. The other issue, I added this small little door right here, so you can squeeze into here. It's real nice. And then also I just put the awesome sink in kind of down in this pit. It shouldn't be clipping anything. I think it's barely clipping right here, but you know, some sacrifices have to be made. So I still need to do belt work and hook everything up to power, and I need to do the roof lights. The other thing I need to do is out here, down below, I need to figure out how to add proper supports to this underneath bit, because it's too far out for it to just sit here. It's like 3 to 4 foundations. I think I like this lighting setup. It's just, I put 4 lights, 1 in each corner, made a little blueprint. I used, if we shine on it, the, oh, what are those things called? The double beam connectors. I put 4 of them, so it would look like the lights were hanging. But when you can't see anything, like it looks real nice in here when it's dark, and it lights up this whole place really nicely. Now, something interesting about this factory is I've done something I've never done before, which is there are no belts showing. All belting will happen underground. I do not know how I feel about that. I really like watching items move. So I'm thinking about this middle section right here. I could have foundation on each side and have the middle have our aluminum scrap, maybe some coal, and maybe aluminum ingots go through it. We can technically fit 4 things, so maybe I'll have, oh, I could do sheets and casings and then aluminum scrap and aluminum ingots and just ignore the base resources. That's probably what I'll do, just so we can see some stuff moving. I really want to look at it move. Let's see, what if I take this out? Let's find out. All right, I just powered everything on. Oh. Wait, did I forget to set this? Okay, now we have powered everything on. What we're waiting for right now is the water to come. If we look over above us, yeah, it's right there. There's a water line. It's going to take a hot minute for the water to get over here. I've done all the belt work. As you can see, some things have changed. It is extremely cramped underneath this building, so trying to do all the belt work down there wasn't going to happen. So these smelters are all above ground, and then this bauxite and this water is also coming from above ground to interact with this refinery right here. I've brought the copper over and split off the coal that was going to the computer factory, so those are all in. As you can see, these machines are now turning on. The copper is building up. So now what I'm going to do is wait for that water pipe to fill up. And I gotta say, with everything running and looking at all of these lovely, lovely belts moving, It is fantastic. The other thing we have to wait on is the fact that this is a overflow system and scrap stacks to 500. So it is going to be a hot gazillion years before this thing is running at full capacity. I just valved the water, so these machines should never overflow. Everything should be moving correctly, which is fantastic. I'm going to grab some motors so we can unlock the hover pack. But before we fully end this video, I have two things I need to talk about. First of all, the main hub area. So the reason that I'm still using the zip line and not using hyper tubes, and the reason I haven't trained a bunch of things and all that, is because I'm going to be building a main hub. This will not be a large main hub. It'll probably be a little bit bigger than this steel factory, but it's going to be going up in the crater area right up here. The reason for that is I really like the building area and I have a cool idea for the hub. Now, to build the hub, I need radio control units, which means we're kind of going to be ignoring a few things until I have radio control units. And by that I mean we'll be ignoring nothing because radio control units are the next thing to build. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the fact that I now have a Patreon. If you want the save file to this world and all the blueprints I make, then they are now there. That includes all blueprints from the computer factory and all blueprints from today's video. And after every video, within a day, I will put all the blueprints up on Patreon. And every few months, I will release the save file so you can explore all the newest stuff I've made if you want to. If you care, link in description. I highly encourage you to ignore it completely. But now the most important thing has been acquired. The hover pack. Oh, and my pot's back. Hooray. And now we get the thing that I've been waiting for. Mark V logistics. Oh, thank God. We have the beautiful Mark V belts. Yes! I just realized Mark VI belts exist now. So with all that said, I hope you have enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.